you've seen her work. Through her efforts, people have become wildly successful. Household names. She's worked with some of the biggest names in show business. Tom Joyner, filmmaker Bill Duke, Wendy Williams, George Wallace, comedian D.L. Hughley, actor Laz Alonso and Kristen Keys, pastor and gospel singer Dietrich Haddon. Yolanda Starks White is a jewel among the stars. For Yolanda Starks White, life has been a journey along a path charted by the words of her father.
My dearest daughter, there is nothing random in the universe. People have to make choices in their lives, and each of us is responsible for the consequences of those choices. It is my greatest hope and desire that you will live a life filled with joy, knowing God's love to the fullest. The greater your faith in God, the more you will understand. Love, Daddy.
Yolanda's father, her daddy, the late James Williams, wrote those words in a letter to his daughter, Yolanda. But long before he wrote that letter, he instilled in her important life lessons. Always work hard. Stay committed to your friends, your family, and to God. Keep things in perspective and stay balanced. Yolanda was the youngest of 4 children. She was born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas, where she grew up in a home with her sisters Pam and sister, also known as Andrea, and a brother, or James. Her grandparents and great-grandparents all lived within a few blocks of her family's home, and she was raised with love and closeness. She walked to school, Morningside Middle School, and later O.D. Wyatt High School.
Her sister and brother, they all had chores to do. She would tell them what they had to do. She would tell them her job to do. So I guess she was somewhat even a producer back then.
Yolanda's father had always encouraged her to chase her dreams, and that if she worked for it, nothing was beyond her reach. Yolanda wanted to be in show business.
I really should have known she would end up in entertainment, because in high school, we were about entertainment. We were about the club. We were about music and dancing and who was out and what we could see. So it was always an adventure, and entertainment fits.
After college, with her father's blessings, Yolanda moved to Los Angeles to pursue a career in entertainment. She was able to get her first job at a public relations firm. But Yolanda Starks White had a close relationship with one of the producers of a popular radio disc jockey, who at the time had a morning drive time show in Dallas and an afternoon drive time show in Chicago.
It's the Tom Joyner morning show.
Known as the Fly Jock, Tom Joyner was one of the most successful on-air radio hosts in the nation. But Yolanda Starks White knew that he could be even bigger. Working with Tom Joyner, Yolanda became an executive producer of the show with a mission to make Tom Joyner's show a national phenomenon.
When I first started working with Tom Joyner, I was fresh out of college and I grew up in Fort Worth, graduated from TCU. While growing up in Fort Worth, of course, I would listen to the legendary Tom Joyner on K104. After moving to Los Angeles, I got a job as a publicist and had the incredible opportunity to come back. Little did I know that I would really have a chance to work side by side with the legendary Tom Joyner Fly Jock.
No one else had done a syndicated show, so we started from nothing and built it. And it was very, very tough getting people, and so that just kind of set the tone, the template for what we have done in the years of booking people. She set the template up for booking people, and at first, it was very, very hard to book people on a show that, it was new.
When we first started, it was pretty incredible because when you hear Tom on the radio, he's silly and he's funny and he's just very casual. So to really be in his presence and to work side by side with him, he's really a genius. But he's a genius in disguise, and he's just very, very focused, and he's really serious about his craft. And so everybody around him, they have to take it really, really serious.
She recruited and added to the show Tavis Smiley.
When I lived in Los Angeles, Tavis Smiley used to work on a show KABC, and he used to do what's called the Smiley Report. And I would listen to him, and of course he was really, really smart. And I was in an elevator and I heard this voice. And I was like, oh my God, is that Tavis Smiley? And then when I saw him and looked at him, I was like, oh my God, he's gorgeous. We gotta get him on the show. And so I introduced myself and told him who I was and who I worked with. And of course he knew of Tom. And I invited him to come on the show. And that's how he and Tom got together.
And J. Anthony Brown.
Well, he was my favorite comedian. And so I just said, I called Jay and I was like, Jay, let's see if we can work this out. And so Jay came on the show, and without a lot of prep, he killed everybody. And so it went from him being on every Friday to every day.
Working with Tom Joyner and the amazing cast and crew assembled, Yolanda was all in. And together, she and Tom set about to create what would eventually become the most successful nationally syndicated urban radio platform in the world.
The very first show was Luther and a live band, Uncle Butchie in the Live House, and then we had some other live shows. It was, and then and went from that to booking the Sky shows, and it was. we did a lot of live stuff. We did a lot of stuff that no one had ever done before, and so Yogi, as she always said, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. It might be last minute, but it happened.
I really think that Tom used to go in his closet and sit and think of things to challenge me, because I didn't have a life at the time, to challenge me to see, just no matter how difficult it was, if I could figure out how to make it happen. If it's getting Luther Vandross on the show after he did a concert the night before in a different city that he had to be on the show. If it's getting President Clinton on an interview in South Africa, if it's getting him backstage when nobody else can be backstage at the Essence Festival, whatever it is, he didn't think about it. He knew he wanted it to happen, and Yogi had to make it happen.
Yogi is very creative. She brings fresh ideas with an aggressive push to make sure they happen all the time in programming. She's always trying to think of things that would be compelling to the audience and to sponsors and advertisers. So she's really had an impact by being involved with all of the products we've done at Reach.
I don't really see myself as creative, but seriously, I don't have any special gifts or talents. I'm not the smartest person. I can't sing, can't dance. But what I am is a hard worker. And so I do think that God has given me a gift of whatever it is that whoever you are, whatever it is that you want to have done, that I can come together and come inside your head and actually bring to fruition whatever it is that you want to create. So my creativity really comes from whomever I'm working with.
But working with Tom Joyner wasn't always easy, especially when he was trying to do things that had never been done before on urban radio.
It was a struggle at first, to make it happen, because we were new and we were doing things that had never been done before, and we were booking people to come on the show that no one else could book, and not just come on the show, but come on the show and perform. And so I was always screaming at her because we had these plans and they just were not coming together, you know, until the last minute. And so I would say, come on, make it happen, Yogi, make it happen. I'll make it happen, I'll make it happen. Yogi, it's going on in about 60 seconds. It's gonna happen, make it happen. And somehow, like magic, it happened.
Whenever something would come up that couldn't be done, you know, just how driven, and that's what I have. I have drive and I have tenacity. And I couldn't disappoint Tom Joyner. So if I had whatever it takes to make it happen, Yogi would make it happen.
Tom Joyner is really, really focused. He's really focused. He's really, really focused. Me, not so much. Yeah. So when Yolanda and I would get together, I would make Yolanda laugh. Tom was focused, didn't like that. He separated us. You and I were never thought to be.
She's been involved with all the major shows, Tom's initially, and then Michael Baisden, and then Ricky Smiley, and then D.L. Hughley, of which are the 4 of the biggest shows in the business.
What's up, Tom? We're going in right here.
After launching the national syndication of the Tom Joyner Morning Show, Yolanda was offered opportunities to impact other urban entertainment projects, which are today some of the most successful entertainment properties in America. She joined Black Entertainment Television, BET, which at the time was expanding its entertainment programming. Yolanda became a talent producer for BET Live.
Yolanda was an integral part of the team, along with Kurt Gadsden and myself, in molding what was to become the new BET.
I've just been able to go on, and it builds. You know, once you do one thing, from leaving Tom, I went to BET and created the talent department. From there, we did award shows, being able to work with Dick Clark Productions to Pierre Cassette Productions, and then, you know, the incredible Bill Dukes. And also, what's been really, really great because of Tom and the mega success that the Tom Joyner Show is, it has really afforded me the opportunity to work with almost every syndicated show that Reach Media or ABC, from the Doug Banks Show to D.L. Hughley Show to the Michael Baisden Show, that I've just been really having an incredible opportunity because I did such a good job with Tom Joyner. They trusted me to help bring these other shows forward.
Yolanda was asked to find the talent for 106 & Park, and she handpicked A.J. Calloway and Marie Free Wright, the original hosts of the show. 106 & Park remained one of the most popular shows on BET for years. Yolanda was also called on to produce talent for BET's popular BET Awards, and she is frequently the go-to person for many of BET's television projects.
She was really responsible for bringing big-name talent to the shows we were developing then, like O-Drama and BET Live, our late-night show. And she really increased the star power we had at BET.
With the Tom Joyner Morning Show and BET accomplishments behind her, Yolanda had already accomplished more than many aspiring entertainment producers ever achieve. But she didn't stop there. Legendary promoter Al Wash recalls working with her on the stage tour of In the Meantime, featuring Iyanla Vanzant.
I never heard, I couldn't even pronounce her name, Iyanla Vanzant. And Yolanda kept telling me about this woman. Al, we need to go check her out, you need to see her. And you know, in all her projects, she's always excited about checking something out and going and see something. We did about 25 sold out cities on that tour. Yolanda, that was a great choice.
Yolanda also worked with noted filmmaker and director Bill Duke and comedian extraordinaire George Wallace.
One of the things that I was impressed by is her management skills, and she manages the essentials of production. She manages time, people, and money very well. If you say you're going to spend this much money, once you commit to that, she ain't getting you a dollar more. So God bless you for this great celebration, and thank you for being part of everything that we do. God bless.
Hello everybody, it's me, Crazy George Wallace. Yes, Yolanda, we wish you the best. God bless you. You've been such a great friend through all of the years. I'd say 30 plus years I've known you. And you are a professional. And everybody knows if there's anything to be done and to be done right, Yolanda, you can do it. Miss White, congratulations to you. We wish you the best. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
I've seen her develop to actually make things happen, and on a schedule that's was really tough, more tough than a radio TJMS schedule. I mean, to do a television show is much more difficult than doing a radio show. Radio show is simple, you know. That's why I do radio.
There's Yolanda Starks White, the little girl from the south side of Fort Worth. There's Yolanda Starks White, the producer extraordinaire. And then there's the laugh.
I first met Yolanda. I first met Yogi at the Jack the Rapper, and I think it was in Atlanta, the Jack the Rapper radio convention. The Jack the Rapper radio convention was, you know, it was quite a party, and I heard her laugh from across the room. Ah!
Yolanda loves to laugh. And one thing about her laugh, if you don't know her, it can be annoying.
I always heard about her, well actually I heard her because she would laugh. Like you would be like downstairs on the first floor and she was up on the third floor. And you would hear her laughing. And I was like, who is that? That laugh was so great, right? But it wasn't when you were on a conference call, but anyway.
If you ever need somebody to laugh for you, get Yolanda.
It's like, it's something, somewhere in between, something like that. Like maybe somebody's squeezing a baby somewhere. But it's a laugh. It's
I could go on and on. Every 15 minutes, this is gonna come up.
And then it's followed by, that's funny. She acknowledges that what she just laughed at is funny.
Yolanda Starks White continues to create and to impact the arts. The ideas keep coming, and she's always up to the task.
I worked with Yolanda at ABC, and she worked on the Tom Joyner morning show, and I worked on the Doug Banks show. When she first got there, I was like, oh my God, this woman right here is like really like, you know, powerful, forceful, you know, like she was so strong, right? And every now and then some interesting words would come out of her mouth. But she would say to me, but Dee Dee McGuire, you know my heart. And I was like, no, okay. And I got to know her heart, and she was right. She's got a great heart. That's my girl, though. She got a great heart and a nice mouth. Not like that. Not like that. Wait, you know the words that come out. Shut up, Jay.
Yolanda still works closely with some of the biggest behind-the-scene names in show business, including super promoter Arthur Primus, who almost single-handedly launched the national entertainment career of megastar Tyler Perry. She and Arthur recently created a show for television superhost, the one and only Wendy Williams.
She said, Arthur, I have a project that we can do together. I think it'll work. I said, well, okay, Yolanda, what's the project? She said, Wendy Williams. And my first thought was, no way, Yolanda, she's an A-list television star. We can't get that. She said, you know, Arthur, you never know until you try. And she said, well, do you mind me making a call? I said, make the call. Sure enough, within 2 or 3 days, Yolanda came back to me, hey, I set up a meeting in New York for us to go talk to Wendy's manager. We went up, we had a great meeting, Yolanda led the meeting, and consequently, out of the box, a new project, something I had never thought about, and it happened. Yolanda made it happen for us.
One of the things that she did when she came to Doug's show was she was like, we need an identity. And she coined the phrase adult conversation. And it's a trip to me because I want to say it's 8 years later and Doug is still using adult conversation. And I remember her coming in and telling us how she wanted to do celebrity takeovers and she wanted to do this big spa day with me. She wanted to go. I remember when she got on with us and she was like, President Barack Obama, it was the election, 2008. And I remember she said, we gotta go broadcast and we gotta do this. And I mean, this girl's enthusiasm and creativity is amazing. And I just say that I loved working with her. She was like, I tell people all the time, she was my favorite producer I've ever worked with. She really is.
But Yolanda Starks White always remembers what her father taught her. And even with her success in entertainment, she always gives back. She's written several books sharing her father's wisdom and encouraging her jewels, also known as her girlfriends.
She's a remarkable and phenomenal woman. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention her Jewels program, where she encourages, she inspires, and she helps to develop young ladies of today and tomorrow. So Yolanda, who is she? My best friend. I love her to pieces.
When I first met her, she explained to me that she saw her in me, that I was 20 years her junior. She is who I've had in my life for the past 13 years since my mother has not been here. I wouldn't be who I am today, and my boys wouldn't be who they are today if it wasn't for Yolanda.
I understand too much is given, much is required. And so with that, I see a lot of Yolandas that running around this country. But the one thing that I had that they didn't have was my daddy. And as a result, I just believe that I have a responsibility to share with them jewels from my daddy. Because I believe that if you have certain jewels in your life, and that is, to be confident, to be strong, to be self-assured, to be positive, to be happy, that if you have all of this inside you, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter who you work for. It doesn't matter who you marry. It doesn't matter who you're around. If you have all the jewels inside of you, then you can be a full person in spite of or despite of whatever you encounter in your outside world.
And for all of her accomplishments, the lives she's touched, the entertaining plays, films, and television shows that she's helped to create, Yolanda has remained true to herself and true to those important values she learned from her daddy.
It is my greatest hope and desire that you will live a life filled with joy, knowing God's love to the fullest.
That is my life. God has a plan for me, and I am just fulfilling His promise that He has.
Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit.
The greater your faith in God, the more you will understand. Love, Daddy.
Words on the wings of the morning, the dark night will fade away.
Hi, Yolanda. How you doing? Congratulations on your award. You really do need to be acknowledged. You did such a good job this summer producing my comedy tour. We worked together very well. I know I can be weird. Do you want to know what we used to call you behind your back? It's funny. You'll laugh. Judy Jetson. You know, Yolanda. It's the blonde hair and the quirky outfits. And I've got a quirk, so I love a quirk. You're my kind of people. You really are. You're a hard worker. You are a good soldier. And just congratulations. You deserve this award and more. So thank you. It's nice knowing you, Yolanda. And I look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. Bye. Judy Jetson.